Hello everyone, my name is Caitlin or kaitsim here on YouTube, and we're back with another color scheme tiny home, and today we are embarking on the journey of the terrifying yet stunning red and green color scheme. Now, I know what you're thinking. Absolutely not. I know, right? Me too. However, you'd be surprised that it's actually quite nice. If you watched my last episode of my color scheme tiny home series, I explained that in order to get color schemes like a complementary color scheme to not feel as intimidating is to really focus on shades and hues and tints. Sorry, I always do that. Hues is a totally different word. Shades and tints. Sometimes English is hard. It's my first language and my only language, but sometimes I like to think it's hard. Anyways, so we focus a lot on shades and tints in this one. So I started out this build wanting to do this cute little brick home because it's a red and green color scheme. So why not go for like a nice deep red brick? And I thought, what a good idea. Honestly, came out so cute. This one visually might be my favorite one we did. And I know that's crazy, but it's so good, you guys. Honestly, I don't know. It's just amazing. I did struggle with the roof a little bit because I wanted to use these little dormers and I couldn't create dormers out of walls because I was doing the tiny homes, which is only 64 tiles, a tier 2 anyways. So I had to kind of be a little bit more creative. I had to mess around with the Strangerville dormers plus those little roof details and use the tool mod and make it look like they were attaching. If you have tips on how you use dormers and you make them look attached to the roof, please tell me, because every time I place one, it is floating in the middle of nowhere and I can't ever not have that happen. I don't know. It's honestly one of the biggest struggles and it frustrates the heck out of me. So if you have a good tip on how to do that, please comment it down below, or what you do to make it look better. Cause I had to lower these a lot and they still weren't even touching everything. And it's just, I want it to be cute. And then for the chimney, I also had to use 2 different chimney pieces and stack them on top of each other because I once again couldn't use walls to create a chimney or else I'd be eating into my tile count. And I wanted to have this little front patio area, or not even patio, like an entryway really. It's not even a porch. But yeah, I'm super pumped about this one. So like I said, this is the red and green complementary color scheme, and I don't know, something about this house is just so cute and cozy, but it also gives sophisticated vibes, I guess. And I think it's great. I think it is honestly beautiful. I placed it in Windenburg in the, well, obviously you can see the pancakes house right there. So right next to the pancakes. And I feel like it fits in really well. I know Windenburg is designed after New Orleans, but I feel like it would be really cool if this neighborhood or one of the 2 neighborhoods was just old brick traditional homes. I feel like that would be so fun. And that's kind of what I've done when I do Windenburg builds, is kind of focus on that brick style. I do have another one in this save file that I'm building this one in across the street. You might see it if I spin around enough. But it's super cute and I adore it. It's it's a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom home, I think, and it's a little brick home with an added greenhouse bonus room on the side, which I thought was super cool. This area, I wanted to try to do some cool entryway. However, it didn't end up working out, so I ended up just putting the front door on this bump out instead of doing this recessed entryway situation, only because I didn't like the lighting. The concept was great, the roof was in there properly, it just, with the archway, changed the lighting so much that I couldn't do it. So I kept it in there to show you what I was working on, but I obviously changed it, and I ended up using the Strangerville door, I believe, at the end of the day. It is beautiful, and I did medium wall height. One thing with tiny homes and small homes in general, if you're ever curious, if you make the walls taller, it feels larger. I know that seems self-explanatory, but your space could be small, 100 square feet, 200 square feet, 4, 5, 12, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. If you compare the two to a building that is much taller ceilings versus like lower, say your ceiling's at 8 feet, but then this other place is 10 feet ceilings, that 10-foot ceiling room is going to feel exponentially larger. I actually did like a whole paper on, ceiling heights and things like that regarding old churches and stuff during my architectural history class in college, but it's beside the point. I created a fun thesis that I really enjoyed about how flying buttresses were actually a symbol of wealth because they allowed the ceilings to be taller and the churches to be more extravagant, and that represented wealth for the culture, given the church was like the most important thing. Anyways, I digress. I'm landscaping the outside. I actually landscaped first on this build. I never do that. But since it's red and green, I really stuck to the green foliage. And I did utilize a little bit of like the natural wood and the white in this one, a little bit more than I did in the blue and orange color scheme house. Because the blue and orange, I mean, if you think about it, there are orange wood tones. So there was a lot of options for that, but there isn't a lot of red or green wood tones. So I did kind of need to utilize some more neutral shades to kind of blend it all together and make it function and look right. And I think it came out phenomenally. So when we go into the front door, we're going to have a little small entryway and a dining then a living room, and then a dining and a small kitchen. The kitchen is a fun layout, a layout I've never done before. It's not like connected, like it's two separate walls with like a bump out in between. So it's actually super cute and I really enjoyed it. I've never done a layout like that because my silly little brain wants it to be realistic. And I've never seen a kitchen in real life be broken up quite like this. I think it's possible. I just personally haven't lived in a place that's done that. So it's not like on the top of my brain of things to do in The Sims, but it looks really cute. And then the bedroom has a lot of brick, and the bathroom I think is mainly just like white. I mean, it's bathroom stuff. There's not a lot of green and red that we have as options, but I want to discuss this complementary color scheme a little bit more. So complementary color schemes are great because of the contrast, and that draws your eye to that space. There is a lot going for the eye when you're doing that kind of color scheme, and it actually is very interesting, I guess, for lack of a better term. I find complementary color schemes to be so fun. I did a bunch of like hand renderings in school utilizing the blue and orange color scheme, but the red and green is always terrifying because you think Christmas every time. And to be fair, that's because that's what they used for all of the marketing of Christmas. The thing is, though, if you utilize, as I mentioned before, shades and tints of colors, it is a little less intimidating. So here I really focused on a maroon burgundy red, which would be a shade of red, and a deep green. It definitely is more of like an evergreen. My goal was olive, but there's not a lot of olive in the game. So it's definitely like an evergreen or an emeraldy deep green and a burgundy maroon. Another color scheme that is technically a red and orange complementary that I am obsessed with is like a dusty pink and olive green color scheme. Now, if you have a lot of CC, you will find that a lot of CC creators have those colors in their swatches, like Charlie Pancakes, and I believe Pierre Sims also has it in his Winter Garden collection. But if you look at the swatches on those items, they have a beautiful olive green and a lovely like dusty desaturated pink. It's stunning. Chef's kiss. Honestly, I have so much CC that I love, but I don't build with it because a lot of people don't have it, and I guess it doesn't really matter. I could just build whatever I want, but I feel like I want people to have the ability to download my stuff, and so that's what I do. Anyways, this build is coming together. We just did the floor plan. Like I mentioned, you come into that small little entryway. It's really just that sidewall right there between the bedroom and the bathroom, but it creates a nice little area to put a side table. And I also put a little chair over there, plus some stuff on the wall, decor and artwork and things like that. And then now we are going into a little bit of this kitchen in this back corner. I tried to do this green tile, but I eventually got rid of it because I wanted to add the brick back. I felt like the green tile was a little, not quite the vibe I was going for. I feel like this build style or this decor style is a little bit more like dark academia feeling. And it could simply just be because of the colors, you know, because like a deep burgundy and a deep green are just dark and moody in like the best way. And this Jungle Adventure wallpaper I'm putting on, it's technically like a stucco, I think. The two-tone is so perfect because it has the burgundy and the dark green. Like, it's phenomenal. I end up changing some of the walls to just plain green and then keeping the red like wainscoting or chair rail in other places. And then I really wanted to use that Paranormal Stuff wallpaper because it really matched the color scheme as well. And here I end up using a tile I never use. I'm going to pull it in a second. It's green, red, and blue. It's that little, hold on, it's coming. It's a coming. There it is. That one. I thought it was so fun. I really enjoyed that. I think I ended up making the walls gray. I struggled for a while to figure out what I wanted because I decided once I placed that tile that that's what I was going to do. And so I needed to find a wall that matched it. And the Jungle Adventure one didn't quite work, although that was also a great like light green and deep green two-toned wallpaper. Now I am in the kitchen and we are going to be placing the Realm of Magic countertops, which is where I get that like dark academia vibe, I think. And I thought about wrapping it around this column, and then I realized that that just wasn't really quite what I was going for. So I ended up placing this Country Living Kit fridge, English, Caitlin, right here. I end up sizing it up a hair to kind of fill in a little bit of that gap. And then I just take the counters and I do a little side counter over here where the stove goes as well. So I really thought it was cute. I don't know what it is about this, but I think it's so cute. And the disconnect of the cabinets being on the two different sides of the walls, it doesn't really feel that weird because it does kind of just look like a column bump out with the brick. So I feel like it works out really well. And I really enjoyed building this. I think I end up replacing that cabinet for like a straight cabinet because I was going to try to just do a bar seating area. And then I thought, never mind, I'll do a like full 4-seater dining table, which fits actually really well in here. And the chairs I used were fun. I struggled with rugs for a long time, so you're going to see me go through a million rugs because the red rugs in the game are very vibrant and very saturated. And I'm not really going for that color scheme, although, you know, it is a red and green build. I wasn't going for that saturated, overly vibrant red that you see in most of these swatches. So it took me a little while to find rugs that I liked. I end up using, I think just a plain red circle rug in the dining area. And then I end up using the Strangerville rug with the like beige natural tone and the green details in the living space. Bedroom, I'm not confident what I end up using. We're going to enjoy this together. But I'm pretty sure in the hallway I do end up keeping that, is that lawn? No, that's Cats and Dogs. That Cats and Dogs rug, the little circle. It's super cute. And I really enjoy that because it looked almost like worn down and like beaten up, which I thought fit this kind of vibe really well. And if I keep that rug actually looks nice. I wonder what I ended up deciding. This is where I switch it to the Strangerville rug with that like green hint in it because it kind of pulled the green from the walls, which I thought was really effective. And the living area is a little bit difficult for me to furnish because the couches that I wanted to use that were the right tone were slightly too long for the wall. So I really struggled for a little while trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to put there. But I ended up coming up with something that I really enjoyed at the end of it. But I think I kept in a lot of it, of me like going back and forth on what I was going to do. Also, will I ever do a short speed build? Who's to say? Because so far, odds are not in my favor. I very often am sitting here and I'm like, wow, how do people cut down their speed builds to like 15 minutes or 10 minutes even? I've seen some that are like 8 minutes long. This build today, 27 minutes without screenshots. I'm sorry, what? How? How are people doing that? I don't know because I can't. For the life of me, I can't make a build that isn't like 20 minutes long. I'm such a perfectionist though, so when I go through all these builds, like I have this like vision, and if it doesn't work out perfectly, I will sit there and like fidget with it forever. A plant clip slightly into something, I will move the plant, I will adjust the plant, I will fix it, I'll scoot it 4 times before it's perfect. I have no self-control. I gotta fix it. These builds are so freaking long. Also, that weird nook that you see in the bedroom is gonna end up being a little bookcase nook. And I did that on purpose because I thought that'd be a good place to do like a built-in kind of feeling bookcase. So I really liked that little detail. I know sometimes you can get like those 1x1 little areas that make no sense. making it look like something's built into the wall, I think it's a super easy way around that. And it was also a way that I could incorporate a bookcase, because it gets a little fishy when you're doing these small builds and you're trying to get like a bookcase in there, you know, like you don't have a lot of room. Also, drapery took me forever, because you can see right there, all the reds, vibrant red, not like a pretty light green or a, you know, olivey green or burgundy. They're all just like so vibrant and aggressive. So it took me a long time to come up with something that I liked. I think I ended up using the vintage glamour ones. Is that what that is in the bedroom? I think so. And honestly, these base game ones, the colors are really nice and they drape around that curved window like stunningly, shockingly. So I end up keeping those, and the blinds over the windows in the kitchen also had that nice little burgundy stripe, which I thought was really great. Now we're moving back into the dining area once I place this sink. And like I said, I do a 4-seater round table just like I did in the other build. Honestly, in all the tiny homes I did, because it's the easiest way to fit a 4-seater table. And you can really rotate it around to get it to fit in a lot of tight spaces really nicely. So that is really what I focused on here. And the chairs that I use in this build for this dining table are what really give it that like dark academia feel. They feel like you could find them at like an old university or something. These ones right here, they are from Get Together. They're nice. It just makes it makes the vibe feel right. I don't know. I had a great time building this. Oh, and it looks like Cats and Dogs rug came over here instead, which is good because I think this works really nicely. I do think I also put a pendant over that. I could be mistaken though. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that. So now I'm messing around with the living room furniture, which took me forever. At first, I wanted to use this couch from high school years. I thought it was great, but then I struggled to find chairs that I liked in the right green. So I ended up finding these chairs. They look like almost like the blow-up chairs they're from high school years as well. And they also have a nice mustard swatch, which by the way, great with like green and red mustard all day. Anyways, so I found these chairs and I was like, oh, these work really well. So then I needed another sofa. I ended up using this one. It's an unlockable, I think for the programmer career or something. And the green was a really nice tone. So I ended up placing that plus these 2 chairs from high school years. I angle them. That's one thing I love doing. Even in like the hotels I used to design, I would love doing angled side chairs. I feel like it makes it feel a little bit more casual, a little bit more like thrown together. Not so like formal and like institutional, I guess. Like you're not sitting down for an interview, you're like hanging out and having a good time and chatting, you know? So I don't know why, but I love angled chairs like facing a sofa rather than like straight on, but that's just me. In my house, like my personal home, I have an angled chair in my bedroom. I used to have an angled chair in my living room. I just don't like them straight on. I don't. And they take up more room. Not a fan, especially in this tiny house. That tiny living coffee table works phenomenally as a side table. If you've ever wondered, great time to use it. All black, perfect. And then I end up putting a Parenthood bookcase over here because I had the perfect green and red swatches that I wanted. Looks like I didn't use the green and red swatch. I used the black and red. And you know what? That's fine too. This pampas grass, I put a plant back there, I think, behind that chair or something. And the plant ends up making it so your sim can't sit in that chair. They can sit anywhere else. I did play test everything. The only area they couldn't sit was with that chair right there. So if you don't want them to be able to sit there, just remove the plant that I had in there. It looks really pretty, which is why I kept it, but it doesn't function. So I don't know if you'll need it. You can really only fit 2 Sims in here. So like, do you need that one chair? No, I don't think so. But just in case you really want to use it, just delete the plant and you can kind of make it work. So yeah, we're going to be closing out the living room soon, and we're going to be moving into the bedroom furnishings, which took me a hot second as well, because, oh, here we go. Yes, that one, the cottage living one with the iron oxide rusty color. I thought it was so cool. So cool. Also, the industrial loft kit ones would have worked really well in this build, but I had nowhere to put them. And then this ceiling fan actually had perfect swatches, so we did that one as well. So now we're moving on to the bedroom. I did end up keeping that rug, which is great, and I do use this bed, I believe. I do turn it and face it the other direction though, and add 2 side tables, a dresser, and a TV actually. So this build does have a TV. It's one of the smaller, cheaper ones. Put it on top of the dresser and angled it because your Sims can sit in the bed and watch TV. So I think that would be great for them. The green in this room was more of a pop of color. I needed to be careful because of how bright that wallpaper is for paranormal stuff. If I use too much of the like crazy, not crazy, but the deep green, it kind of did feel a hair Christmassy. So I went for a more light green in this room using those side tables and that dresser. And then everything else is more just, you know, decorations and things like that. In this bathroom, I am using I don't even know what pack that comes from, but it's a tub with a little green bottom, and then this sink with the green base, and then just a standard white toilet. I really think this bathroom gives me like super cozy fun. Like imagine taking a bath in that tub with like candles everywhere, the lights down, just like candlelight and bubbles and a bath bomb or two, and you know, your own thoughts and feelings and maybe a glass of wine. Phenomenal, really. I would kill for it. But my laptop that I'm recording this on has said that it's going to shut off soon, and I'm paranoid that it's going to shut off while I'm doing the voiceover. And then I'm not going to be able to save it, and I feel like this voiceover is great. So if you enjoyed this, please like this video and comment down below what you think about this, what your favorite part is, if you've seen any things in this build that you're like, wow, I forgot that was even in the game, or that swatch is actually beautiful, and I didn't know that until we were forced to do red and green on all the walls. Because that happens to me every time I do these. I find things that I didn't know existed, and even swatches that I end up falling in love with. So if that happened to you, let me know. Also subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out on any future color scheme at tiny homes. Our next one will be purple and yellow complementary, and that one is a very different style than my typical builds, and it was hard for me, to be honest with you, but I think it came out cute. It's not my favorite, but it came out pretty cute. But stay tuned if you like cottages. That's your hint. If you like cottages, stick around because that'll be next. Anyways, or if you have a, request for a specific color scheme, I am working towards analogous on my next couple, but if you have a different one, just let me know and I can try to work on that instead. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, like I said, like and comment. This is available on the gallery, and my gallery ID is kaitsim14, and I'm also on Instagram and TikTok as the same name, kaitsim14. And I hope we all have a great rest of your day, week, month, or year, and I will see you all next time. Bye.